News 1. Iran's supreme leader shown at event amidst reports of deteriorating health. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was seen attending an event at the mosque in Tehran on Saturday, according to Iran's government website and state media one day after reports circulated about his deteriorating health. One picture showed Ayatollah Khamenei wearing a mask and greeting the crowd, attending the ceremony which marked the 40th day after the martyrdom of Imam Hussein. The New York Times said that Khamenei canceled all public appearances week after falling gravely ill under observation by a team of doctors, citing for anonymous people familiar with his sad situation. The Times reported Khamenei is on bed rest after undergoing surgery sometime last week for bowel obstruction. The pictures posted at several of Iran's media outlets indicated the 83-year-old Ayatollah was physically able to appear in public at the event. Ayatollah Khamenei has been the leader of Iran for the last 3 decades and is one of the longest-serving rulers in the Middle East. It remains unclear who might succeed the leader, but it is expected that in the event of his death, the Assembly of Experts will convene to discuss his successor. News 2. Some bodies found at mass burial site in Izium shows sign of torture, Ukraine says. Even the heavy rainfall couldn't erase the smell of death in the pine forest in Izium on Friday as Ukrainian investigators worked their way through a mass burial site found in the eastern Ukrainian city after its recapture from Russian forces. Ukraine's defense ministry said at least 440 unmarked graves were found in the city in recent days. The country's president Volodymyr Zelensky said some of the bodies found in Izium showed signs of torture, blaming Russia for what he called cruelty and terrorism. Zelensky posted a photograph of the ongoing exhumation of bodies at the mass burial site near the photograph on his Telegram channel. The whole world should see this, a world in which there should be no cruelty and terrorism, but all this is there, and its name is Russia. Izium was subject to intense Russian artillery attacks in April. The city, which sits near the border between the Kharkiv and Donetsk region, became an important hub for the invading military during 5 months of occupation. So Ukrainian forces took back control of the city, delivering a strategic blow to Russia's military assault in the east. Okay, so we have news 1. U.S. Postal Service appoints Manhattan's first Latina postmaster. The first Latina to become postmaster for the U.S. Postal Service in Manhattan was sworn in on Friday, 25 years after starting her career as a letter carrier, officials said. Wanda Diaz is the first Puerto Rican woman to hold the role and also the third woman to be named postmaster, according to the agency. As a carrier, I said, one day I'm going to be a postmaster, but it's real far away. And yes, I am, during a ceremony. Diaz started at the Postal Service as a letter carrier in 1996. In the Bronx now as a postmaster, she is executive, responsible for overseeing mail to nearly 9 million customers. Hispanic Heritage Month has roots dating back to 1968 when President Lyndon B. Johnson signed a bill designating the week of September, according to the Office of Historican, the Office of Archives for the U.S. House of Representatives. More than 62 million people identify as Hispanic or Latino in the U.S., about 18% of the nation's population, according to the latest census data. Another news, we have Putin concedes China has questions and concerns over Russia's faltering invasion of Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin praised China's balanced position on the Ukraine war, though he conceded Beijing had a question and concerns over the invasion in what appeared to be veiled admission of their diverging views over the protected military assault. Putin made the comments when meeting Chinese leader Xi Jinping in person for the first time since the invasion at a regional summit in Uzbekistan days after Russia suffered a series of major military setbacks in Ukraine. Russian troops are retreating en masse, having lost more territory in a week when they captured 5 months. China has far refused to outright condemn Russia unprovoked attack on Ukraine, stepping up economic assistance to its neighbor, boosting bilateral trade to record levels, in a boon to Russia business amid Western sanctions. We highly appreciate the balanced position of our Chinese friends. In connection with the Ukrainian crisis, we understand your questions and concerns in this regard. Putin said in the opening speech of the meeting. During meeting, of course, they will explain in detail their position on the issue, although they have spoken about that before.